Bear Rescue Centre in the glorious hillside forest of Tam Dao, and I'm here with Huang and Hang, who have been looking after our new arrivals, our new family. And I also want to pay tribute, because I don't think we do this as often as we should, but the person taking all this film is actually another one of our bear whisperers, and it's the beautiful Nop. Nop, turn the camera around and say hi to everybody.
Hi everyone, I hope you guys can see me. Can you see me, Jill?
I can see you.
Thank you, Jill.
Okay, so this is as much, I think, a surprise or a Kinder surprise. Remember those eggs with the toys inside that you never know what you're going to get? Well, I haven't seen these bears for a few days, and you just never know what you're going to get. You know, their personalities can change. They can sometimes even change over a couple of days. Sometimes it takes weeks, if not months. But it is going to be quite a journey, I think, over the next few minutes to introduce you. So we've got some fruit that's been laid up to give them, and as a morning enrichment. These bears are hugely spoilt now, of course, with their body weight in fruit and vegetables in their normal diet, but also they get extra enrichment in terms of fruit or toys or showers, etc. So this is going to be a nice surprise for them this morning. If we can perhaps put some of that. Have we got a thank you. Do we have a bowl? Oh, let me put some in here. Put some. Okay. Thank you, Hung. That's fine. That's enough. Thank you. Oh, you're putting it in there. All right. Thank you. Sorry. Okay. Okay.
And we already have dried fruit.
We've got dried fruit there. Okay.
And shrimps in the
Oh, they've got, oh, these are fantastic.
Yeah.
So these are like lovely wrapped up parcels, but inside it could be anything from fruit and seeds to sticky rice. They have to work to get it as they would in the wild. And when, of course, it prepare them for the great outdoors in our sanctuaries, where again, they have to work for their food and be like real bears out there. So let's go and see how they get on. Okay. Morning, Clyde. You are huge. Look at you. You are an absolute beautiful buff of a bear, aren't you, eh? So you can see very clearly he has obviously great evidence of still being on a bear farm. He's got wounds on his head. You come up here. Come on. There you go, so gentle. The wounds on his head from perpetual bar rubbing in his cage, from where he couldn't get any respite from his frustration, his pain, his bleak life that he lived. And now it's all about kindness. It's all about keeping him busy and happy and enriched and motivated. And you can see already he's so beautifully responding to kind treatment here. There you go, sweet chops. So what are you going to need? I forgot what you're going to need. You are going to, Clyde is going to need a root canal treatment. So there are obviously some problems with his teeth. But to be honest with you, he obviously needs to be fed up a little more. He's quite thin, but his body condition looks quite good. And in fact, I'm going to leave it here with Clyde, because we'll get Rachel, our associate vet, who's coming over in a while, to detail everything for us from a veterinary point of view. There you go, sweet chops. And what about this parcel? What is this? What exactly is that? What are you going to make of that? There you go. Oh no, don't eat it all once in one piece. There we go. Wonderful.
Bonnie.
What is it?
Bonnie.
Oh no. Do we have jam? Wonderful, thank you. Okay. Okay, and we'll move on to Bonnie. Oh, and I forgot to say that Clyde loves his showers, and you can see already that he's in a large transport cage, and I think perhaps it's worth telling you about the cages at this point as well, because they're going to be here for about 30 days. And that's obviously very, very important for our vet team to be able to come very close to them and look at their health, look at our bear team, of course, to look at their psychological landscape as well, and to be able to make informed choices of their treatments moving forward. I think many people say, well, why aren't you just putting them straight into a den? Well, very often, when we can rescue anything up to about 20 bears. So we don't have the room to just put bears from a cage into a den anyway, but that's not the main point. The point is that they have been in a cage for around 20 years of their life. And so they need to become acclimatized again to a cage, to kind treatment, to a variety of enrichment every single day. And the reason for that is that over the next few years, as they're going to be cared for with Animals Asia, they're going to have health checks every 2 or 3 years. And for those health checks, of course, we need to be asking them to come into a transport cage from their dens, from their houses, so that they can be wheeled around to the hospital. And for that to happen, they have to be completely trusting in a transport cage here, and realise for the first time in a cage that they are going to see only kindness. This array of food, the showers that they love, the tasty, nutritious food, all the nice surprises. So it's a pleasurable experience of being in a cage. And so when the time comes for them to have to go into hospital, whether it's for a health check or even in an emergency situation, they are fully compliant and fully trusting of being in a cage. As you can see, Clyde is there now. There's not that nervousness. He's taking food gratefully from Hong. He's not expecting anything bad to happen to him, like bile extraction. So already over these days, this kind management is working for our Clyde, and it's just the most beautiful thing to see. So let's see how, and he loves his showers, by the way. Let's see how the gorgeous Bonnie is doing. And she's not so keen, we understand, on her showers either. And she will probably need a cholecystectomy, which is the removal of her gallbladder. And again, I'm going to wait until Rachel comes here so she can talk all about the veterinary side of things. But you can see here, she's bright, she's curious, she's smelling a little bit of jam, I think. Hey, Bonnie, what do you think? What do you think? Oh, does that taste okay? Yum. How is that, sweet chops? How is that? So you can see she's a little more cautious than Clyde has been, but nevertheless, she's also a little more trusting than she was on the farm. Here you go, sweetie. I'll tell you what then, how about a surprise parcel? Would you like a surprise parcel? No? No? Saving it for later? You're saving it for Christmas? Hey? Well, let's see. Perhaps by the time we've finished this interview, it'll be gone. So, and here's Rachel. Hey, Rach. So Rachel is our associate vet, and Rachel, it'd be wonderful if you don't mind updating everyone on the condition of Bonnie and Clyde, how we found them, and how they are now.
So our colleagues Sean and Kat from the vet team, Sean the senior vet and Kat the senior vet nurse, went and rescued Bonnie and Clyde almost 2 weeks ago. Sean told us at the time that Clyde, as you can see, he's got a very curved back, although he's already starting to relax and not looking as hunched as he was when he first arrived. And he also has one broken canine tooth, which is clearly not stopping him eating at the moment. He is on daily pain relief medications until we can do a full health check at our bear hospital here at Tamdao and treat that broken tooth. Hopefully he can have a root canal treatment, which is something that Sean is able to perform, where we save the large root of the canine tooth. and that helps protect his jaw. Hopefully he won't need the tooth out and he can have a root canal treatment done. It's also something that Sean is teaching our junior vets to do now as well, which is amazing. It's really advanced dentistry. So,
Rachel, I believe that's the first in the country, right?
Yep.
For the woo! Oh gosh. So the bees also love to be around us. So
the bees are after the bears.
oh my
Jam.
gosh, they certainly are.
Yep, Sean is the only vet in Vietnam that can perform these root canals on bears. They have such long roots that those roots of those canine teeth are really integral to protecting the jaw and the stability of the jaw. But it also means that we need really specialized equipment with really long files. So Sean has had those designed alongside an international veterinary specialist, Cedric Tut from South Africa. And Cedric has taught Sean to do them, and now Sean's hopefully teaching the junior vets to do them too.
And you've even been treating people from outside as well, or help training. Training bears from outside, but also people outside.
Yeah,
I remember Shirley,
Yep.
Hong Kong.
Yeah, she's one of Cedric's students, so there's other people learning to do it, but so far Sean is the only vet in country that can do them. So hopefully Clyde will benefit from that very soon. And then Bonnie is missing her right hind paw, which I'm sure you've seen and know by now. All we know is that that is likely to be a snare injury from the way that she's missing it. She's missing most of the paw. We just don't quite know what bones are left yet. We have seen her standing on it, which is good. So hopefully we won't need to do surgery to reconstruct that area. Hopefully we can just support her. But we will take x-rays at our facility here as soon as she has her initial health check here. Obviously we can't do x-rays at the rescue site, so we don't know exactly what's going on with the bones. But we'll be able to check when she's under anaesthetic here at our bear hospital here.
And obviously, I was going to say the right hind part of that missing is as a result of being caught illegally in the wild in a leg hold trap or snare. We know of no incident where bears are being bred successfully on farms here in Vietnam. So they have all come from the wild, and so it's not just a welfare issue, but it's a really major conservation issue as well that we're dealing with.
Absolutely. It does look quite typical for a snare trap injury, so we're assuming that's where that's come from. Also,
you can see she's so, by the way, Rachel, I was going to say she's so spoiled. She's refusing jam because she's holding out for other good stuff that she prefers. So that's where they've come to now. It's just wonderful. They can actually choose to be picky if they like. And Clyde next door to me just did a great big burp, so I presume he wants a bit more jam. There you go.
Bonnie has proven that her favourite is still pumpkin, and she loves pumpkin, which is great for her teeth. So that's fine, as long as she keeps eating her pumpkin, it'll help break up all the calculus and tartar on her teeth. So as soon as she comes for her initial health check, we can examine her teeth even better once they're a bit cleaner. Also, Bonnie does have something in her gallbladder that Sean saw at the rescue on the ultrasound. Something shadowing inside her gallbladder. Now, we can't tell from the rescue ultrasound whether or not that is a tumour, if it's something like a polyp, which is a benign growth, if it's an abscess, or if it's just really thick, sludgy bile. We will be able to tell a lot more once we have her here, and we can use our much more powerful ultrasound in our bear hospital here. So at her initial health check, we'll be focusing on that right hind paw and her gallbladder along with all the routine tests. But she may need surgery at her first health check to treat whatever's going on in her gallbladder, which is why we're letting her settle in first. We need to make sure that she takes her medications every day. Ideally, we don't want to be doing surgery unless we can guarantee that she's going to take medications post-op. So we like to give them a bit of time to settle in and see what kind of things they like, make sure that they're nice and settled, that they take treats with medications hidden in, so that hopefully post-op she can get all of her pain relief and antibiotics that she needs. Obviously, if there's any emergency, we will go for a surgery in an emergency sooner, but if we can get them settled in first, we prefer to do that. So you can see that she is Settling in okay. She's taking a watermelon, so hopefully within the next few weeks we can get her and Clyde in for their initial health checks. We can treat Bonnie's paw and her gallbladder and have a look at Clyde's spine some more and his teeth.
Perfect, thank you, Rachel. And moving on to the most beautiful Kindness.
She is so
hello,
sweet.
sweetheart.
I am completely besotted with her already.
Hello, sweetheart. She won our hearts, I think, immediately at the bear farm, didn't she? Just because we all thought she was a younger bear.
From the pictures we'd seen before we got there, you can see she's got absolutely giant ears and big eyes, and she really is so small. She just looked like a sub-adult or a juvenile that hadn't grown into their ears and eyes yet.
Yeah.
But no, she is an adult bear. We can tell that she's an adult because of how thickened her paw pads are. They're all what we call hyperkeratotic, which is where the thick skin of their paws, where she's only ever walked on bars. Those paws have become really thickened and calloused and cracked over the years. She also had, you will have seen at the rescue, very overgrown nails, which Jill was able to clip and clean up her ingrown nails, thankfully, at the time of rescue. So she's already so much more comfortable with those nails, no longer digging into her paws every single day.
That pain being released from her, how it was just almost, I mean, I won't say necrotic, the flesh, but it was stinking. It was obviously badly infected,
it
Rachel.
was horrendously infected. She has been taking, like an absolute champ, she's been taking pain relief and antibiotics every day since she got here. And you can see she's now showing us her paw
there we go.
here, where it's scabbing up and dried and it's no longer stinky. You can't smell that smell of bacteria anymore. It's drying up nicely. So.
And this is another good introduction to just having her stand up for us, you know, so that she can show Rachel and our vet team, you know, all the areas that they want to see. You know, maybe explain a little bit about the, you know, the body checks and things, Rachel.
So when we come down and check on the bears, we do like them to do a bipedal stand so that we can get a full view of their body. It helps us give a full nose to tail check while they're awake without having an anaesthetic. We can check their eyes, we can obviously check their responses and their demeanour. We can check their paw pads. You might be able to see that as Jill's distracting her so that she's not looking at the camera, how thickened and hyperkeratotic those paw pads are. So that's something that as she moves into a den and then out onto soft ground for the first time ever, where she then gets to walk around on soft soil and grass, that those pads will become a lot more normal. We can also check her fur coat. So you'll remember from one of our recent rescues, Dawn, she was almost completely bald and you couldn't see her crescent because of all of the fur loss. By having the bears stand like this and show us their chests and their bellies, we can check on their fur coat. You can see around Kindness's neck, just above her crescent, that she is missing a bit of fur there. Hopefully that'll start to grow back as she gets a good diet and some fresh air.
And I just think most joyfully of all as well, if you just pan down to that amazing crescent that gives these bears, for those of you that may not know, I'm sure 99% of you do, gives them the name of Moon Bear. And in fact, Kindness's crescent is going right over her shoulder like a shawl as well. She at least has been blessed, unlike Dawn, who had hardly any crescent. Kindness has the most incredible blaze of lemony fur there, don't you, beautiful? Eh?
You can already just see just her personality. Those eyes are incredible. Like I said, we thought that she was a cub, but she's 18, 20 years old and she's just still got such young, innocent eyes. You can see how much she is enjoying that honey. Moon bears are incredible. They have such small eyes. They really actually do. Even compared to cats and dogs, their eyes are tiny, but they show so much
character. They really do. And the trust of this bear, I just, you know, even on the farm, Rachel, you know, at the beginning, she was pacing because the presence of people really meant something perhaps negative in the coming few minutes. But now, look at her, she's already a completely different bear and she's grabbed all of our hearts very clearly. And look, you just have to lick it out there, okay? You get
She
that?
will.
Yeah, I will. I could do that. I could do that.
She's got such a long nose, it makes her look very mousy, and she's got a long anteater type tongue as well. It just sticks out, and she's so sweet.
There you go, Rachel. Why don't you?
Sure.
Sure.
Pop it. My main concerns about Kindness for her health are still her teeth. I say as I'm giving her condensed milk and sweet sugary stuff, but all her teeth were very stinky and rotten and covered in tartar. So same as Bonnie, if she's eating her pumpkin, which like a good girl she is, that will start to crack off all of the calculus and tartar. And then when she comes for her initial health check, we can clean up anything extra and then examine her teeth and see if she needs any root canal treatments herself or if she needs any teeth out. And then also that claw, that one, she's got a few that were ingrown, so we'll check all of those wounds to make sure they're healing. But the one on her right front paw that's really stuck out at an odd angle, we might actually have to amputate that digit so that she doesn't catch it as she's out and about and risk breaking it if it's not already broken. So for her, it's her teeth and that claw. And then obviously we'll do a full nose to tail check with all our routine tests too to see if there's anything else. Yeah.
So we're going to, Rachel, why don't you do the honours? We're going to give her something she's not had before, a surprise parcel. So let's see how she gets on with that. And while Rachel's doing that, I just want to say what an absolute privilege it is to speak with you all today. Thank you for following us on this journey of Bonnie and Clyde and Kindness and all the other bears that we've rescued over these last 25 years of Animals Asia. There are many, many Bonnie, Clydes and Kindnesses waiting still for us, which is why it's so imperative to have that Backmar Sanctuary finished, up and running. Even the first phase now, we can start to rescue bears there, but we still need desperate help for phase 2 and phase 3. So with your help, we are going to end bear farming in Vietnam. Again, I have to say, as the only NGO that's working with the Memorandum of Understanding with the government and achieve our final goal. So thank you. Thank you all for putting kindness in action. Come back for another live feed and we send you our gratitude and our love.
She loves it.
Oh, she's doing, oh look.